Inglewood in the house, Compton in the house, Langley Village in the house, aight? Young people see the word politics and they immediately switch off. I wish I'd been told that before we got these fucking massive letters built. So to bring politics into this, the 20th century, me headed down to Washington, aight?
N-E-W-T.
T.
And then Gingrich.
For real, how does it spell that?
G.
For real.
I. N.
M.
N.
For
G.
like nothing, whatever. G.
R.
R.
I.
I.
C.
C.
H.
How does I say that? Gingrich.
Gingrich.
Gingrich. All right, wicked.
Gingrich. Okay.
Gingrich. And as I say the first name?
Newt.
Wagwan, Everton Irie. I is here with my main man. His name be Newt Gingrich, and him was the leader of the House of Representatives. Is that right?
Yes.
What policies was you famous for introducing?
Well, probably the most famous was welfare reform. We had a system that paid people to do nothing.
So, how long do you think people should get welfare?
We set a pretty firm system that says that you can be on the system for about 4 years.
But ain't people just getting into it after 4 years?
Well, I mean, most people we think should actually go to work.
Do you think that people should get more welfare the longer they is on welfare?
No. We don't think that you earn seniority on welfare.
But surely the longer you is on welfare, it shows that you has got commitment. I mean, you wouldn't like it if you was in a job and didn't get a pay rise.
But our goal is to get you off of welfare, not to make it more desirable for you to stay on welfare.
Do you think dads should be forced to pay for their kids?
Yes. If you create the child, you ought to have an obligation to help pay for the child.
What, even after it's born?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
But if you was already paid for the meat, you know, the popcorn, the chocolates, the movie or whatever, the last thing you want to be thinking about when you is getting jiggy is how much is this going to cost me? Makes the whole thing unromantic, innit?
Well, and if you're the kind of bum who's going to walk off and leave your kids, the girl shouldn't be with you in the first place.
So does the Republican Party think that homies should take their girlfriends up the butty?
No, I'm not. Look, some guy who says to me, all I want is fun for one night, and then she has to spend the next 20 years raising the child.
For real?
That strikes me as a pretty unfair bargain.
Do you think a woman will ever be president?
Absolutely.
Ain't there a problem that if there is a woman president, they're going to spend all their time on facials, shopping, and getting new shoes?
I think if you said that to most women who could be president, you'd be surprised how tough they are.
But ain't you worried that the whole cabinet would be like Brad Pitt on Defence and George Clooney on Elf, you know, because him from ER, you know, and you've just got like all these other good-looking geezers and King Dong in the background,
we've already been through it before. I mean, as I said, Margaret Thatcher was probably one of the 3 best prime ministers of the 20th century.
But wouldn't there be a danger that they'd like fall in love with someone bad like Saddam Hussein?
No more than there is for a man.
Yeah, but women, they love bastards.
I don't have any. I think that's just. I think that's a stereotype. I don't think.
No, but I know from me experience, the worse you treat them, the more they want you. And he could be like doing bad things to the US all the time and shit. It would just get more and more horny.
I don't think that kind of woman would get to be president any more than some guy who's easy to push around. People who get pushed around easily don't get to be president.
But ain't there the problem that if he declares war, she'll just start crying and everything?
The kind of woman who would rise to be president, I think, would be very comfortable saying, if you really want to fight, we'll do what it takes.
But not if she was in love with him.
Well,
treat him rough, you get your muff. That's what they say on the street.
I think whoever you dated is probably different than the kind of people who get to be president.
Yo, so big it up. You has heard none other than my man, Newt Gingrich. Big up yourself, respect. No diggity. Check it, I is here with my main man, Governor Dick Thornburg, who was former Attorney General, and him is here to explain to us about the law. What is legal?
Well, I think most conduct that all of us engage in on a day-to-day basis is legal.
So what is illegal?
What is illegal is what the elected representatives of the people define as crimes.
What is barely legal?
Well, that's when you get into technicalities, and that's why you have trials.
Because we saw this film called Barely Legal 3, and it was about these two naughty college girls, and them hadn't done their homework, and then as punishment, they had to have a free-header with their supervisor, this teacher. Is that to do with the law?
It's hard to say. That would probably be governed by the rules of the institution, the college.
Yeah, well, in this institution, it was very strict rule that if you didn't do your homework, you will get boned.
Right. Well, that's a law of sorts.
Yo, well, it's a good law.
Yeah.
As you've seen that film,
Yes? No, I haven't.
you should check
I
it
will
out.
now because you've recommended it.
Yo, I mean, it's well good. It's
Barely
like
legal.
Barely Legal 3.
Free. Okay. Good.
When is it legal to murder someone?
Never. Because murder is a defined term. Murder means a willful, premeditated killing.
What if they call your mum a hoe? Is it all right to murder them then?
You can't use as a defense any kind of verbal provocation, no.
What happens if they say your mum is a hoe and I know because I has done it with her?
Well,
then surely then you can pop a
That
cup in
would be
their
a
ass.
terrible thing to say, but nonetheless, you can't take another's life for that kind of slander.
What happens if they said that about your nana? Surely then you can just
No.
sort them out and say, yo, you is gone.
Yeah.
What you said up today was legal. Now
No.
is illegal. Cussing my nana, a
No.
slut.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And you're pushing me, but even at that, the law does not permit the taking of another's life.
What happens when the jury can't decide whether the geezer should go down or not?
All bets are off. They have to try him again. Hung jury, sometimes called to.
But surely the size of their dongs, whether they is hung or not, won't affect their judgment.
Well, I don't see the connection. What do you?
Well, you were saying that if you is hung, you know, if all the jury members
No,
is
that's
well
a figure
hung.
of speech. That's a figure of speech. A hung jury is one that can't agree.
So it ain't.
It has nothing to do with their physical character.
Oh, so it ain't like 15 blokes who is like packing down there.
No, I'm sorry. I should have made that clear.
What exactly is the law of cutting the cheese?
Cutting the cheese?
I don't know what they call it here. You know, it's whoever smelt it, dealt it.
I don't know if there's any law that covers that here.
But is the definition whoever smelt it, dealt it, or is it whoever said the
well-
rhyme committed the crime?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Criminal liability can attach to a person who does an act,
The one who
Pers-
cuts the cheese,
a person who aids or assists the person,
the one who smelt it.
or the one who agrees on a plan to do the criminal act,
The
a
one who dealt it.
conspiracy. So there are varying degrees of responsibility.
What is the death penalty?
It's the most extreme penalty that can be imposed.
Is it true you get a last meal for free?
Yes, that's normally the custom.
Can you order an all-you-can-eat buffet?
I assume so.
But ain't the danger there that then you can carry on eating forever and they will never be able to kill you?
There's a finite limit to what you can eat to prevent people from killing you. I don't think that's a real risk.
Yo, so listen up to the words of my man here, Governor Dick Thornburgh, because you better learn the law, otherwise you is going down. You're gonna be fried like chicken unless you know how to keep legal. Big up yourself, keep it real,
pleasure.
safe. How come it is illegal to nick someone's TV, but not illegal to steal their girlfriend?
The television set is the property of someone else, but somebody's girlfriend is not their property.
But surely a girlfriend is worth much more than a telly, unless it's like, you know, one of them plasma screen things with surround sound.
I agree with you. I think that's probably true.
But why don't the government introduce a series of penalties? Say, all right, we're fining you $200 if you kiss Juji Fruits. We're going to give you 3 months inside the can if you nibble at M&Ms. And we're going to give you life if you take her up the Hershey Highway.
I was Attorney General. My name is Meese. I say, go to college, don't carry a piece.